Stoners, welcome to another edition of Sticks-n-Stonez. I'm your host, Brent Elrod. I have got what I think is going to be a fantastic episode today. For those of you that are on the live stream, I know looks a little different. I'm usually like the camera's like off to the side. I have managed to upgrade from my iPhone. I had to bring my laptop out. I have the little USB camera that is on my whatever this foamy stuff is that's supposed to help the sound. So you get a good look at me, and you can see not only my microphone, but you can also see my Freedom Fatigues Don't Tread on Me shirt. Love this shirt. Go see Freedom Fatigues. All right, let's go ahead and get on right into this, because that's what you're here for. Now, I believe that this is going to be, well, the spirit is going to be definitely hearty and delicious. That is Garrison Brothers Single Barrel. And for those of you on the live stream, there it is. All right. I am pairing that with a delightful stick I have paired once before. It's been a while, though. I'd have to go back and see exactly how far back it was, but it was definitely prior to season 2, or at least most of season 2. So, I mean, we're talking season 1, maybe the first few episodes of season 2, I don't know. But anyway, it is a Tatuaje Reserva Cojonu, Cojonu, Cojonu. I think that is the proper way to pronounce that. I believe that this exquisite pairing, and I am sorry if my head stays down too much. This camera's a little bit higher up than I want it to be, but I don't have any options right at this moment. Anyway, because I definitely don't want it sitting down here looking up underneath, because you're not supposed to be taking the pictures from down here, because you get to see stuff down there that you don't want to see, the little jiggly stuff. For those of you that are on audio, they're like, what the hell is he talking about, jiggly stuff? But you didn't see where my finger was pointing underneath my chin. So that may give you a little idea. And not that I really have much of that now. I'm like very svelte. I just seem to be kind of all over the place today, don't I? I'm going to try to stay focused. I mean, this pairing, I believe, is going to be pretty exquisite. I am a definite fan of Garrison Brothers. They are the first Texas distillery, bourbon distillery, and or whiskey distillery, however you want to say that. And I am a fan of the Tatajue, not Tatajue. Tatajue is Tatajue. And I think that this particular pairing, I will hold both of these up for the live stream again. So if you're listening on audio, you should, maybe try to check out some of the live streams sometime, because they're pretty entertaining. I tend to wander a lot. But anyway, I think that this exquisite pairing it's more than just enjoying a drink and a smoke. I think this is about experiencing a moment of just absolute indulgence and luxury, even though we are talking about a Texas whiskey, and that's where the hearty comes in. Texas is hearty. So anyway, you all sit back and relax, and I will savor every sip and every puff of the Garrison Brothers Single Barrel and the Tatuaje Reserva Cojonu. You are not going to be disappointed. I am positive. Let's go ahead, pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. So, Garrison Brothers. Now, I have had, excuse me, several of their offerings. I have not had this one. So, this is going to be an experience. This is their single barrel. It is known to be smooth, and matter of fact, you can see on the live stream, I'm peeling the cork off of this thing. It is supposed to be smooth and have a wonderful velvety texture. And I'm expecting hints of like caramel and vanilla, and naturally it's got to be some oak in there somewhere. Now this is a Texas straight bourbon whiskey. It is Garrison Brothers Distillery. They are located in Hye, Texas, HYE. The Mashbill, why don't I just, I'll point this down, maybe. Can't quite get it down far enough. I'll hold it up a little bit. There we go. How about that? That'll work. Mashbill is 74% corn and 15% wheat, and the remainder is malted barley. So it is 94 proof, 47% alcohol by volume. It is a non-age statement whiskey, but it is noted to be 4+ years because this is kind of it's not an age statement, but it's an age statement. So it's like 4 to 7 years. So let's go ahead and, oh, hang on, here we go. Oh, man. I will say that I have never been disappointed by a Garrison Brothers cork pop. They do know how to do that for sure. Let's go ahead and glass a little of this up. As those of you on the audio can hear, glug, 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 glug. Now, when I was heavy on that one. Take a look at that. Yeah, okay. I definitely don't want to waste it. So, you know, visually, I mean, if you just, that just looks like a super dark, like maple syrup with hints of deep copper or a reddish hue. It is a beautiful, beautiful spirit in the glass. I mean, really beautiful. I think it's got decent legs. They might be just a hair thin, maybe, but I mean, it rims pretty well. So I've got it right in front of the audio microphone for the audio side, so they're really hearing it slosh around in the glass. This particular spirit is it runs about $100, $110 a bottle. So anyway, on the nose. You get a really nice oak spice right off the bat. And then there is kind of some fruity notes to it, something along the lines of like stone fruits, plums, nectarines, things of that nature. There is a little bit of like menthol or eucalyptus, but it just kind of sneaks in there underneath the fruit. It's not, there's not much to it. It really, I mean, it could almost border on like a mintiness. So, and there's maybe even just a touch of like tobacco. All right, let's try it out. It's got quite a bit of leather, like some sweet herbs. I keep looking over here because that's where I can see myself. So instead of up here. There is oak. There is caramel. There's quite a bit of char to it, but there is enough vanilla to kind of keep that honest and kind of tamp down. You know, that vanilla just kind of creams things out just a little bit. So it's got a nice body to it. And there is a kind of maybe a slightly syrupy aspect to the palate, to the feel. And it has, it has some really good proof heat. Not too much, not too little. I mean, it's to me, it's just right. So, you know. Yeah, that's really good. Now, And the finish, I mentioned there was a little bit of like a eucalyptus-y kind of mintiness in there. That kind of holds on the finish and kind of helps make that a pleasurable, long sort of coating finish, I guess you'd say. Overall, I mean, I can't say that I've ever really had too many like straight whiskeys that have had too much of a mint notes in. So it's kind of odd, but I do kind of like it. And other than that, I mean, it's a really good, yeah. It's a pretty toss up, but I've had the small batch. I really like the small batch. And this is good. I don't know if it's a small batch, but it's good. We're gonna keep testing. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Tatuaje Reserva Cojonu. This is a Nicaraguan cigar. This particular stick, the Cojonu, is like a 6.5 by 52 on the ring gauge. The filler and binder are both Nicaraguan, and the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano. It is a very nice medium brown, as those on the live stream. I'm holding it up so they can see. Visually, it's got a moderate amount of veining, not a lot, but not a little. I do notice some little kind of wrinkly spots. I'll hold that up. Might be able to see that. I'm not really sure. It's like the leaf has got little bitty tiny wrinkles right at the edge. The seams are visible but tight, and it has I'm trying to look here, triple cap. Yeah, I almost missed one line there. All right, let's go ahead and give it a cut. Let me give you the nose. On the nose, I get leather and cedar. I get some notes of like maybe some coffee and some nice kind of barnyardy type hay notes. And maybe a little bit of chocolate on there as well. Yeah, all right, let's give it a cut. I'm using my Cassetti multi-cutter. I'm going to use the V-cut. It's like normal. Cut. All right, now on the cold draw. I get a little bit of sweetness right on the tip of my tongue, and then I do get kind of a rehashing of the nose. I get some coffee and a little cocoa or chocolate. There's some oak in there, and there's just a little hint of kind of baking spices. So I think this is going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and fire this stick up and give it a try. I was at a cigar lounge yesterday with my boy Rob, and when I'm out here it's hard to see, but when you're in there, the light's a little bit lower, and I was like, man, I need to turn the flame down on this Rocky Patel Envoy here. That thing's like a blowtorch. All right. The way it just pops to life as soon as you light it. Sorry, I'm looking down here again. Need to be looking up there. You've got chocolate and oak from both the cold draw and the nose that are making it into the light. There's some pepper and spice on both the palate and on the retro, and so on the draw, it's your glands are just salivating, and it's got a pretty good smoke output. Unfortunately, it's a little windy here today, so. Now, the draw is a little tighter than I really expected it to be. So, yeah, I don't know. It could be the cutter, not the cutter, the cutter, the person doing the cutting. I'm going to use my punch, and I'm just going to punch. See, this is, sometimes you have to do stuff like this. You have to improvise on the fly. And I'm going to just take a little bit off of the top of my V-cut, just to open it up just a little bit more. Yeah, that worked. That worked. I may end up losing the cap off of it, but it worked. So, all right, let's try them together. I know y'all are like, dude, you've been talking nearly 20 minutes and you haven't even tried them together yet. Those do go together very well, and I will say that, I know I've kind of vacillated, I've kind of wandered back and forth about small batch or single barrel, but the Garrison Brothers goes really well with this stick. I can say that. So pull my hat up just a little bit. I don't like wearing it up high. I think it makes me look funny, but not that I don't already look funny. Anyway, yeah, I think that the kind of cocoa or chocolate notes and a little bit of vanilla and spice off the stick is mixing very well with the caramel and the vanilla, and they both kind of have an oakiness going to them. I think they're just going very well together. Yeah, I like this Tatajue and Garrison Brothers single barrel. I have to be careful because I'll get to talking about the two and I'll end up mixing them up. And anyway, all right. So for those of you on the audio, I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and then I will get back to you guys and give you an update. For those of you on the live stream, we're going to keep marching on. Howdy, folks. We are back. Me and all the folks on live stream. Here at the halfway mark, the kind of the woodiness of the oakiness in the stick has kind of intensified, and I think at least some of that may be due to the spirit, as there's quite a bit of wood in the Garrison Brothers. There has also been a little bit more sweetness brought in as well. I'm still having a problem looking over at where I can see myself instead of looking at the camera, but we'll get there. There was, I discussed the kind of mintiness. It's very faint, but it's there in the spirit. And I do think that is kind of pushing up the spices in the stick. I think that they are going, I mean, just very well together. And, you know, when one is really kind of supporting particular palate notes like that, where you're saying there's a note in this stick and there's something in this spirit that's actually helping to enhance it, you're doing really good. So, but there's also been a little bit of a kind of a prickly pear kind of note coming into it as well. And I think that's in the stick. It has been a very enjoyable experience, and I did not drop the cherry in my lap. I didn't. Anyway, I didn't drop ash in my lap. So, but these two have really been just running along together, just very, very well. Probably even a little better than I kind of thought they would. Of course, at the beginning, you're like, "Oh, this is going to be great." You don't want to go out and tell the fans. You're like, "This will probably be okay." You don't want to do that. But then when you get into it and you realize this is actually better than I thought it was going to be, the Garrison Brothers has a very, very long finish on it. That's what I was talking to the live stream folks about. And like the finish hangs on for a while. And it just slowly dies out. But it'll still be there. And but you don't get anything like that with the stick. You get a little bit of finish on it, and then, it kind of goes away. So again, if I want to really concentrate on the finish on this spirit, the cigar is helping me out. It's like I'm not gonna try and interrupt what you got going on with the spirit. You go ahead and concentrate on that finish. I'll be here. Take another puff. Some really nice spicy notes on the retro. If you've never had a Tatajue, the Reserva would be a good one to start with, I think. Sorry, I shouldn't say the and then take a puff and a drink before I say anything to you. Still, I have to say the only complaint I've had about this Tatajue is it burns really wavy. I'm showing it to the live stream folks now. So, like I said this in the beginning, if you folks that are listening to the audio on this, you need to try and catch the live streams, because you get things that I just can't give to you on the audio only, because see, I can show them stuff. I even showed them where I thought that my cut has probably attributed to the waviness, but I don't think that's all it. There's just too much of it. If it was just the way I cut it, but, it's got a significant amount of up and down to it. And this is it's a medium-bodied cigar, but it's a very easy smoking cigar. This could be one of those, people will ask, all right, well, I'm just really kind of getting into cigars. What should I try? And, a lot of people will tell you to start with something, like say an Olive Serie O or Serie V, Serie G, Serie O. That is a lighter wrapper, more of like a Connecticut, and it's an easy smoking cigar, whereas typically the darker you get, the more intense you get. But this even though this is a really good Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. It's a very easy smoking wrapper. And, well, cigar, not just wrapper. I'd hate to think I took the wrapper off of this and just smoked that. All right. I am going to burn this down the rest of the way, and then I will come back and give you my final thoughts. Howdy, folks. I am back. Here in the last half, I do believe that the Tatuaje Reserva has kind of ramped up a little more into the full-bodied cigar realm. It continued to deliver some great chocolate and coffee and oak notes with a little bit of leather in there, and it didn't steal the show specifically. And I say that because it allowed the spirit to more shine through. And I talked to the people on live stream a lot about the kind of mentholy, minty, eucalyptusy kind of note on the palate in the spirit. And if you'd had a cigar that was a little more overpowering, it might have kind of hidden that a little bit, where it allowed that to shine through. And that's great. I have enjoyed this. It has been a wonderful experience, and it has really allowed me to focus on the spirit and what is that one thing that keeps kind of hanging around there that, you know, it's just, it's different, you know. I mean, it is a very satisfying combination, you know, don't get me wrong. And I do really like the Garrison Brothers single barrel. And as I was telling the people on live stream, I'm probably give the small batch a little more of an advantage if I'm just looking, you know, Garrison to Garrison. But they are making some really good whiskeys down there in High Texas. And if you haven't tried any of the Garrisons, you definitely need to, because they are doing some really great stuff. The Garrison, wow, my cigarette went, I was talking about cigarettes a second ago, because I don't smoke those. But my cigar went out like right here at the end. It's terrible. The Garrison, I mean, it managed to really impress in a lot of the areas. I wasn't as big a fan of the kind of minty, mentholy kind of thing it had going on, which was really more toward the last of the palate and through the finish. Because you had the, you know, vanilla and oak and caramel and those kind of stuff, those kind of things in the beginning, and you had that little bit of undertone of mentholy kind of stuff. But then as those palate notes died away, you're left with a lot more of the minty, mentholy kind of thing at the end, and it's more like a burn on your tongue, but not just like a proof burn or proof heat. It is actually a palate flavor. And so I would give the Garrison, I would give them sorry, I'm still having to work this cigar. I would give the Garrison Brothers single barrel, I'd give it a 86 out of 100 whiskey stones. Where I think a small batch, I think is probably somewhere up in the low 90s, if I remember right, from the last time I paired it. There it goes. We're doing good now. The Tatuaje Reserva, there wasn't a thing about it that I did not like, other than it burned a little wavy. And it wasn't like overly complex. But it had some nice complexity to it, and then it kind of there at the end, it kind of ramped up to a little more of a full-bodied smoke. I would probably give it like a 89, 90 out of 100. I think that seems about right. I do. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. I have really had a good time with this one. Gotten some great new things working on the live stream, and so we're getting better every day. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, all those things. Ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, do all that kind of stuff, so that you keep up when I drop new content. Leave me comments. I love comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say about the show. If there's something that you would like to see paired, or if you think I just totally suck, whatever, But at least it lets me know. Be sure to go to our website, sticksandstones.com, sticksnstonez.com. And you can pick up the prior episodes you may not have seen yet. And you can also see the blog posts. I try to blog about a lot of different things, not just whiskey and spirits, so that there's kind of something for everybody. And be sure to go and visit our affiliate partners. I have an affiliates page on the website, but most of them are on the front page. And you can just click on it. It takes you straight to their website. And we definitely appreciate it. I'm showing off my, I like this camera in front of me now. I can show you my Freedom Fatigues t-shirt, my Don't Tread on Me. I love this t-shirt. It's so soft. It feels so great. And Freedom Fatigues is veteran owned. Take care of the veterans. They gave up a lot. They gave up their youth for you. So give back. Caliber Coffee. It's another veteran-owned company. I used to own a coffee house. I can tell you about coffee. They have some great blends at Caliber Coffee. Definitely need to go see those folks. And naturally, Cigars International, where the sticks come from, and Total Wine, where the spirits come from. Definitely want to go see those folks. And Total Wine, probably half the states in the country, maybe more, they'll deliver it to your house. And if it's a place where you have Total Wines, like in your city, like I have several here within just a 20-minute drive of here, they'll deliver it to me from the store. Can't beat that. All you have to do is just go and put it in your cart and check out, and they'll deliver it to you. And I always give a link to the stick and the spirit in the description of the audio, so that while you're listening to my lovely voice, you can be checking out the stick or checking out the spirit on their website, and you can be like, yep, I want to try that, and they'll send it to you. So, can't beat that. I will say, one of our affiliates is True Classic Teas. Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez likes the True Classic Teas. She told me the other day, I forgot where we were going, and I had on my short sleeve 3-button Henley, and she was like, oh, I like that shirt on you. Well, thank you. It's a True Classic. She's like, it sure is. So, all right, I won't keep you any longer. You all have a great week. I look forward to getting together with you again. Until then, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.